The three of you approach a truly massive wall, entirely adorned with graceful carvings that resemble beams of light and growing vines. The wall seems to go on forever, broken only by a pair of arched gateways, the interior of which is pitch black.
I have dark vision.
It's pitch black even to those of you with dark vision. Standing guard over the gates are a pair of angels. In perfect unison, they each strike the ground with their spears and speak in ringing golden tones. One of us speaks true as true, the other only falsehoods tell. One portal grants all safe passage, the other does go straight to hell.
Ooh, I know this one. This is just a reskin of that classic puzzle. Hold on, I can work this out.
Right, like in Labyrinth. How did Sarah do it?
I don't think she did it incorrectly.
Nah, she did it right. It's only because Jareth cheats and was totally into her.
Yeah, but what are your characters doing?
Since these are angels, Asha has been glaring this whole time because it was an angel that stole her mortal mother and forced her to...
Yeah, I remember we'll read your backstory.
Or skimmed it at least.
Right. So once they're done talking, Asha steps forward and draws upon the life force in her wraith quartz to ignite a ball of hellfire in her hand and proclaims, "In my experience, all angels are liars, cheats, and thieves. Stand aside and direct us to the correct gate, or I, Asha Linian Sable Tressier of Pandemonium, will incinerate you with the flames of my homeland."
Yeah, that sounds like an intimidation check. Roll that for me.
14.
No. While they take your threat seriously, lifting their spears off the ground in a little hurrah, neither of them seem inclined to give way.
I think we have to ask if they're telling the truth and then ask the other one... No, that doesn't work.
Which one is hotter? I want to go up to the hot one.
He said they're identical, and they are angels.
Well, actually, the Old Testament angels are pretty freaky looking.
These angels look like perfect humans with big white feathered wings, and if you're looking to seduce them, I'll remind you that they are immortal, sexless warriors of the heavens and aren't looking to get it on with anyone ever.
But that can't be right. I'm half Asimar, and if you remember on page 5 how Ash's father is actually an angel just undercover as a devil.
She's right. The mere presence of Asma implies some procreation is going on.
Exactly. So Asha equals angel fucking.
Right. Fine. All right. It's not going to be easy, though. High DC and disadvantage on that persuasion roll.
24.
Okay. All right. Look, we'll fade to black.
No. We're role-playing this shit.
No.
So, Raider approaches the closest angels, all hips and bedroom eyes, pouts a little and says, "My, that's a really big spear you have there."
Welcome to Mythtakes Happen. This is season 1 of a world-building podcast where two good friends talk about the partitioned city of Heliakon, a living, breathing world for you to game in, live in, and explore. I'm Chris, a Victorian teacher and writer.
He, of course, means from the state of Victoria, not from the Victorian era. Hi, I'm Aaron, a professional game master from South Australia.
We will begin with Ready, Setting, Go, where we discuss significant aspects of the setting, followed by Fable Fodder, where each host has developed setting and story aspects of a fantasy world without the interference or knowledge of the other host.
After, we take a short break, imperceptible to you, the listener, through the magic of technology, and return with World War words, weaving together connections, linking our two halves together, and perhaps altering some fundamental aspect of one another's contributions.
No tears, my friend. We will ruin this world together. At the end, we move to jumping to conclusions, where we discuss the whys and hows of our whats.
Look in the episode description for follow-up materials, trigger warnings, and anything else that might matter. Supplementary aids will be linked here, including summaries of our work so far, alternate takes, and GM tips, all eventually culminating in a deliciously attractive PDF at the end of the season's run.
For a few episodes, you may hear us referring to the podcast using a different name, but this is a false memory implanted in your brain by the podcast industry. Pay it no heed. Before we begin, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of this great land. I am recording on the land of the Kulin Nation, home to the Boonwurrung people.
And I'm recording this on the land of the indigenous Ghana people of the Adelaide Plains.
And with that, we'll get started. When I saw you last.
Only my continuing obsession with Obo Dreamer and creating subclasses of the setting, which a little unusual for me. Well, yes, I have sort of started with a core idea of the rules. I've been writing little vignettes for each of these little subclasses that I want to invent, and having
I like
a great
vignettes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Well, I like that. So you're obviously you're in the juice.
Yes.
You're in the role playing gaming juice right
Absolutely.
now, which is great.
Yep.
That's fantastic. I'm out of the juice. I haven't been. Yeah, I haven't been doing anything gaming related except for playing Cyberpunk on my Steam Deck. Which is turns out I was skeptical, but it turns out pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, not fantastic. Like not in a way that I feel like I will return to it over and over and over, like say a Skyrim, which has a certain quality to it that makes you a little bit addicted to it. I don't think there's anything there to get me addicted to Cyberpunk. Here's the thing: I've purchased Skyrim at least 6 separate times because I'm an idiot for various consoles and whenever it was available, and also the anniversary editions. And I've actually never finished Skyrim. Never finished it. I just enjoy playing it and then getting really good at sneaking up on guys and bludgeoning them to death.
Doing murder, wrong. I have logged probably 500 plus hours in Skyrim, but I also haven't played it in probably 5, 6, maybe longer years, and I don't really ever intend to play it again. Although, like Skyrim and Morrowind stuff that's been relatively recent, thanks to
it holds up. It holds up, though. Like as a game, I think it holds up.
Yeah.
To me, much like Fallout 3 holds up really well. I know people say it's like one of the weaker of the like post 2D Fallout games, but I actually think it's so good. It's also like the first Fallout game that I finished like 3 times over. So, like, I don't know, nostalgia.
I think 3 has a stronger ending than 4 does. But I still think New Vegas blow both 3 and 4 out of the water.
Oh yeah, New Vegas. Yeah, I think New Vegas is like it takes. It's better. It feels better as a story.
Yeah,
it feels better as a story. But for some reason, there's still something about the environments of the Capital Wasteland that I feel like make it better to game through, to play through.
Okay.
I think it's just a setting thing. I think that's what it is.
Fair.
It's like I guess I don't like the country very much.
I did like the fact that they had the guts to do the East Coast and explore the differences in the Fallout setting and still make it feel Fallout, and I think they achieved that. I am a fan still of Bethesda's 3 and 4. Although the online one can just go to hell, even if some of the ideas are decent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, well, welcome to Fallout Boys, the #1 Fallout-based podcast on the internet.
Honestly, don't tempt me. I'd do that. I'd love Fallout.
I feel like there probably would be Fallout-based podcasts already, right?
I have to assume so. I have to hope so.
You have to hope so. Yeah, I have to. Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah. Now, I don't think it's something I could do justice because I don't think my retention for Fallout lore is very high.
I genuinely, back in the day, in the early 2000s, downloaded the Fallout Bible of unpublished notes and ideas that Chris Avallone put together. That was. I still have that on my hard drive somewhere. It has talking intelligent beavers, I think, or some sort of burrowing mammal. Anyway, it's been a little while.
These these artists, these creatives, oh my god, the ideas they come up with, so crazy.
Speaking of, we're coming up with something new today.
We are. So actually, welcome to episode 12, the final episode of season 1 of Mythtakes Happen, where we have been talking about the fabled, lost and found and partitioned city of Heliakon in a world that we have created together every episode, bit by bit. But this episode, we're doing something different. Aaron, can you tell us what it is?
Well, yeah, I definitely worry that we might be making a brand new type of Mythtake here. We are going to, right now, without any real preparation or discussion beforehand, come up with an adventure in Heliakon for your players to play in and for you to GM in.
Exactly. We have not talked this through. We have no idea where we're going. We probably have different ideas. Maybe we have similar ideas. Who knows? Because so far in this show, we have had some ideas that mesh together very well.
Yes.
So perhaps our ideas today will turn out identical, and in 30 minutes we will go home, and there will be no editing to be done.
I've never made an adventure on my own in 30 minutes, so I have fears. I don't think we'll go too far into like maybe describing some encounters. I don't think we're going to like work out numbers of monsters. That just takes too long and too much research.
That's for later, I think, because I feel like what we need is the broad strokes of an adventure where we can just decide what is the structure of it, what are some of the
story plots and beats, the scenes.
That's right. Yes, correct. How many dungeons do they have to get through to get to the dragon, Aaron?
Well, I think we should start with what level or sort of level range we want to do our adventure, because if we're going to do an introductory adventure, my personal thought is we start at the lower end and thus maybe keep the dragons for later.
Yes, we can keep the dragons for later, but I would like to include a dragon skull or perhaps an inn called the something dragon.
Agreed.
Just so that the players are not disappointed that when they go into a dungeon, there's no dragon mentioned.
Okay,
and I think that can be
important point. There has to be a dragon of something involved.
Of something, yeah.
Yep, no worries.
And but yeah, perhaps a lower level, not like a level 1. I was going to say level 0. We don't do level 0 in D&D 5th edition, but like a level 1 meat grinder type thing, more like a level 3.
Yeah. I actually start a lot of my adventures at level 3. It gives the wizards enough hit points to not die to a giant rat. So
unless they're very unlucky. Consistent,
or at least not in one hit at any rate.
It depends how many mistakes they keep on making and doubling down on, like I would.
Yeah, you are who I was thinking of. So, all right, we've got level 3 sort of adventure. Definitely involving a dragon. What else do we absolutely want in this adventure? I want to go to the Deepvaults.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely Deepvaults. I was thinking, I just had this idea as we were talking about this of we've created the city of Heliakon, and it's a partitioned city, right? So I think that the adventure of whatever it actually entails should start on one end of the city and end on the other side of the wall.
Through the Deepvaults.
Perfect.
Love it. All right.
My God. We've worked it out.
All right.
We've done it. This is 80% of the thing. This is just it. You all meet in an inn
called the Dragon's Dragon.
The Dragons. It's called the Dragon's Dungeon.
No. The Dragon, as in is DRAGGIN apostrophe, as in it is dragging something.
Dragon its nuts. Dragon these nuts.
Could be. Maybe maybe it's got a little sign on the front that's slightly crude.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because in medieval times, things were really yucky.
As opposed to now, where all humor is perfectly
very
clean.
Classy.
Yeah, totally.
It's classy now because we know. Like, see, I feel like in medieval times it was easier to be disgusting because you didn't know better. But now we do know better. So when people say swears on TV, for example, or there's too much violence, then that should be condemned because now we know better. We've ascended as a culture.
Speaking of violence, we're going to have to come up with some more to our adventure.
Definitely. Well, what sort of thing are we thinking? Are we thinking like a fetch quest type thing, like go somewhere, get something?
So I've been doing a lot of rereading all our notes.
That's good.
And as soon as you said going from one side to the other, one of the things that I reread just this morning pinged in my mind. On the consociate side of the city, there is the Benson and Byrde Bank that you came up with.
Yes. Benson Byrde, yeah. The bank building of Benson and Byrde.
That's right.
A lot of bees.
And it's the wealthiest financial institution in all of Delmarin.
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody, and now I'm saying that I'm worrying that I'm coming out with too much of this, but I'm just going to spit it out there and you can disagree with me.
Go ahead.
Okay, so now I've got two thoughts. Somebody on the northern side.
At one time?
Yes, it's actually painful.
Aaron, no, you can't do this. This is how people get strokes, I think.
I think that's inevitable on my end. So on the northern side, somebody has potentially during the war or perhaps just after it, borrowed a vast amount of money from Benson and Byrde. Probably not without the first Benson's knowledge because they're very, very anti
and
league.
Unfettered league, yeah.
So the two people I'm thinking are either, Stola Tamdar / Westwood is not exactly north side. So now I think about it, let's pop her to one side. And
no, I don't think this is a Stola thing, and
yeah.
I feel like Stola is also as a character, as an NPC that we've created. She's more of a trigger event for something bigger than this.
Yeah. Miracore, Surfei Miracore, who's just recently ascended to the council. She was the one who did the whole ale running in the streets of the city, and she's
popular.
Very, very involved with set up the free guild something. I could alt tab over to my notes, but I don't want to because you get the idea.
Yep.
Perhaps to do that event to save the day at the end of the war, she had to borrow vast amounts of money. Either at that point or after the war, she then had to essentially make a loan from the Benson and Byrde Bank, and now a repayment has to be made.
Right.
But of course, it all needs to be very much under the radar, literally under the city. So she's hiring a group of snakes to go through the shallows from north to south with... I don't... Maybe is it literally just a sack with money on it, or maybe deeds and paperwork or something?
It could be deeds and paperwork. It could be something in a chest, maybe something in a chest, like an ornate kind of wooden chest, and inside it's got deeds, paperwork. Maybe it does have some money in it.
Do we
jewels?
Do we make it? On one hand, is it interesting to make it something unwieldy like a chest? And so during any encounters, I have to deal with the fact that somebody has to be carrying around, or potentially two people have to be carrying around this thing. Is that an interesting...
From a DM perspective, for me, it would be interesting because I feel like it could really annoy the players and inconvenience them. So I one of the things I feel like when we talk about this is I haven't DM'd as much as you have, obviously, but the few times that I have DM'd, one of my goals is to frustrate the players in some way so that when they finally do triumph over the thing, they're like, oh my god, that was all worth it. I feel like that's a little thing that could, depending, they could be smart about it. They could find ways of mitigating that in some way that we can't think of right now. So
I always want to find a way in a combat encounter to make it different from you enter a 40-foot by 40-foot room, there's half a dozen orcs. What do you do now? Anything other than just a straight up fight is a good thing to me. And the idea that a chest that is so heavy that it requires two people working together or one very strong person to carry it, I like that notion, especially if we have some encounters that require the characters to move. The bad guys aren't going to come to them. They've got to go places with this unwieldy
That's
thing.
right, yeah.
So yes, I like the idea that it's a very heavy chest.
If you're clever and hate your players enough, you can also create encounters that are specifically designed to make that very difficult, and create enemies that are specifically designed for that. You go into a room and you encounter the chest-consuming eagle. And that's its life cycle. Oh no! Now it's two things you have to worry about. Because once it's done with the artificial chest, it will eat your chests
Right.
and the lungs inside them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not specifically about wooden chests. It is just anything associated with the word. It knows
With the word chest.
one word in
Yeah.
English, and that is chest, and it consumes all things described
Yeah.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's weird as it sounds exactly the same in all the languages of our fantasy setting. No? Okay. But no, I like this idea. Let's make it a chest. Let's make it it is a bit of a fetch quest, isn't it? And then it's a bit of a what do you call that?
It's theoretically an escort quest, just for
escort mission. Yeah, that's right, escort quest.
Makes it that you literally have to pick up and carry it. Which, admittedly, with some escort missions in video games, etc., I've often wished you could just pick them up and carry them.
I was actually speaking of Cyberpunk. Whenever you have to follow anyone in Cyberpunk, I was quite delighted that they don't move at a snail's pace.
Yes,
because in especially older games, it's egregious. Like you can run and jump around, and these people are just just ponderously kind of sliding through.
What always upsets me in those games is when they set the speed of the NPC to be slightly faster than the NPC, than your walk speed, but way slower than your run speed.
Yeah.
So you're always having, you can't even it will change to a walk and have an immersive experience because you're just watching them slightly get ahead of you. So you have this weird sort of walk, run. Oh,
yeah, no, it sucks. I think a lot of modern games have basically either done away with the idea entirely, or they've made following a person a lot easier.
Yeah, and giving them things. Anyway, yes, back to our game.
Heliakon.
All right, so we've got a broad concept. So
the broad concept, yeah.
Take repayment from Miracore.
Mm-hmm.
I had a title for a Stratum. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Stratamark, wasn't it?
Yes, but now she's on the council, so maybe it's Councilwoman Miracore, which presumably you need to take, receive it in secret.
Yes.
And then you go through there definitely should be some hinkiness on the northern side.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I've got an idea, but I'm doing a lot of ideas, so I want to throw this to you before I say anything.
Okay. Well, see, I was thinking that, okay, so we said that they have to go through the shallows. So how about they go through the shallows to get there, but on the way back, something happens and they have to go deeper. Right? Only in terms of making the players feel like the danger is upped. And maybe there could be some environmental puzzles there as well.
I would still encourage that just being on the way through, because at the moment,
way through? Yeah,
at the moment we've got a sort of a natural 3-act structure going. The introduction in the northern half, the descent into the Deepvaults, good old what's the word? Catabasis, and then reascent into the southern half and our conclusion. I think if we add go in,
it might be.
But I like your idea that the real twist in the Deepvaults is that something wonky happens and they end up, instead of going through the relatively safe shallows, they end up in the Midvaults and find their way back out. So I love that.
Cool.
Before we get to that second act, though, I think there needs to be a twist, a challenge on the Unfettered League's side of things, between picking up the chest and the payment and going into the shallows.
Okay.
Now,
what were you thinking?
Thought was, one of the areas that we've delineated actually fairly extensively is Brightmarket and the Brazen Dome.
Yes, we have. Yep.
And one of the things we delineated around there was that it's got a number of power structures, goblin clans, etc. And the thought occurs to me that if they know that they discover that there's a chest full of essentially wealth being traveled through this area, that, because what I've got in my head is a kind of chase combat encounter through the chaos of the Brightmarket to then escape into one of the Brazen Dome doors as it's opening and closing.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah?
That's on. Yeah, it could be on some kind of timer as well, couldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they have
Yeah,
to.
that's a great idea.
Like they have to
Yeah.
run around for X period of time waiting for the dome to raise up, and then they've got to use like that window then to get into the dome.
Mhm.
That could be a fun
Mhm.
encounter.
Yeah. So what? Okay. So where? So who gives them the mission in the first place? Who gives them the mission in the first place? Because they're going from. Are they going from south to north and back south, or are they going strictly north to south?
I'm just thinking north to south. They
North to south. Okay.
and I like the
So
idea
in
that they do
yeah.
meet Council and Miracle. They're the heroes of the story. There's no reason they shouldn't be interacting with major figures.
Yeah, I think at the start they shouldn't necessarily know that that's who they're meeting, though. I think that should be
Yes.
just a little bit of a surprise.
Okay.
Not like that's a metagaming thing. Like they probably like a player coming into this and playing it wouldn't have any idea. You'd have to tell them, or you know, your character is surprised because you've seen that this is a government official, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can give the description of the paranoia and that the people around you are treating that way. Maybe you've had a couple of adventures with this lodge of snakes.
Mm-hmm.
Do we use Basil Sawtooth's lodge?
We could. We have a picture of him already, so
We do.
that works pretty well.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean he's an angry man.
He is.
And we could use and like we could have a bit of a monologue written in as he screams at the at the characters and tells them that they will definitely die in this encounter because they're so useless.
Actually, I like that as an intro. The angry, depressing, yes, Basil Sawtooth. I'm giving you a job.
Foaming at the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You've just seen him slap a goblin so hard he's exploded his head.
But yeah, all right, fair enough. I'm not entirely sure about head exploding, but I get your feeling. So there's our sort of like our opening scene. Then is this dramatic sort of introduction to going into the, I forget the name of the lodge.
That's called Meat Grinder Lodge.
Meat Grinder Lodge. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. So you go into Meat Grinder Lodge because you've received a demand from Basil Sawtooth to attend. You're being given a lucrative job. He'd love to call it an opportunity, but you're really not really being given any options.
Well, remember one thing that we wrote is that he has a lot of like kind of like pet groups that he cultivates. Perhaps one of those groups didn't come back, and that's why you're getting it, like, or something like that. Well, or maybe you are one of those groups. Actually, perhaps, like, I don't know.
Actually, I don't know. I think you've given me an idea that.
I love ideas.
So maybe the first thing is that yes, one of his pet groups was given the job by an important official. It's important for him because it's because of the council side of things. He gave it to one of his pet groups, and they have been waylaid on the way to the Shallows by the gang, the
Hobbs,
the Chods. One of them we mentioned that has been split by the thing, and there was a Goliath and a Hob Romeo and Juliet thing. I think it was.
I thought it was the Hobbs, wasn't it?
Either way, it's Hobbs or Chods.
Yeah.
The one that's
Hobbs or Chods. Yeah.
The one that's on the northern split. They ambush them and grab the chest. They haven't been able to open it yet because it's magically sealed. So so your next scene then is do you have the option of doing it as a mini heist, or do you just like kick the door down and kill everybody and grab the grab the chest? Leave that up to the players.
Leave it up to the players. I as a player, I would go for the diplomatic option first, if possible. Can we somehow, and that could lead off to something, make it,
like you've bitten off far more than you can chew. You haven't just stolen from a merchant. This is no, I love that. So recover the chest, but unfortunately and that's why everybody in the Brightmarket knows kind of that there's something valuable in there.
Yes.
So now you've recovered it. You're trying to get to the Brazen Dome because it's showing signs that it's going to raise up. So the party then has a running encounter through Brightmarket and the chaos there. And then you get into the shallows, and that's the end of Act 1.
That's great. I like that a
Yeah.
lot. And I think another really cool thing is, that moment of like getting out from the, busy, hot Brightmarket, getting in through that door, and you get into the Deepvaults, and it's just everything's just silent in comparison, and cold, and very unsettling. I think that will be a cool thing for the players to experience as well.
Somewhere, oddly, there's that intermittent dripping of water into a puddle.
Yes. It's a very, I do imagine a lot of it is very moist.
Agreed.
Like our goblins.
Like our goblins.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, okay, so that's Act 1.
Act 1.
Is that something that we should write down, perhaps?
I'm worried. I did consider this, but I'm like, do we want a lot of tippity-tappity while we're recording?
Maybe not.
I was just thinking,
maybe not.
I'll just listen to this back and I'll tippy-tap it together.
Okay, cool. Okay.
It does mean that we can't refer to it. We're just going to have to keep it in our heads.
We're just going to have to keep it in our heads. Okay. That's okay. It's all up here. It's in. I don't know which of your hemispheres. It's both of your hemispheres have your memory. Right?
I don't have hemispheres, Moors. I just have this smooth ovoid sphere.
Oh my god! Like the cunning claw tick.
Yes,
got in there. Oh my god! It all makes sense. Okay, cool, man. Okay, so that's Act 1. I think that fits quite well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then
lots of things from our previous episodes, so that's kind of what I wanted to put in. All right,
that's really good. Okay, and then Act 2 is they're in the shallows.
Yes.
They're in the Deepvaults.
Yes.
Okay. What do we want to happen there? I like putting players through dungeons. So I suppose my first thought would be structure it like a room by room style encounter. But I don't know, because that has the inflexibility of like we have everything written down, and then it's easier to put things in specific places, I think.
Yes, and that for some GMs and players, that's marvelous. That's perfect. They adore that. I think when we put this adventure together in writing, I don't think we'd do it exactly like that. I might suggest that we simply delineate little sort of like mini encounters. So somebody who's building a map will then essentially place those encounters in amongst their own inventions. And somebody who doesn't want to do a full map can simply use those as a structure for the navigation, which would then be a series of skill checks.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair because it gives you flexibility. I think whenever I look at an adventure that's been written up, I don't think I ever use it as written anyway. I always either add things or take things away or stuff like that. I use the overall structure. So, yeah, I think that's cool.
I do like the notion, though, that the first, say, third of this Act 2, I'm sort of imagining the event that we're talking about is essentially 3 sessions. So, like, Act 1 is 1 session, Act 2 would be, at least 1 session. And if you say the first third of it is relatively comfortable, classic dungeon crawl, and then your idea that something hinky goes wrong and they end up in the far more dangerous Midvaults, like partway through, occurs and ratchets it up from, oh yeah, no, you can explore this area and deal with bits and pieces too. No, you need to get out now. I have a notion. Yes, no, you go.
No. You go. I don't have a notion. I'm just smiling.
Oh, right.
I'm just thinking.
I thought that was the light idea striking.
No, this is just nervous smiling because I feel like I've got a couple ideas, but I don't think they're very compatible. So I'd rather go.
I've been throwing a lot out there, and I'd love to hear what you think. And I love your idea for these Midvaults. So,
well, look, I was thinking. I think there should be an element of the espionage agencies that we have established.
Ah.
Right.
Yes.
but I don't know exactly how to fit that into the shallows, the Midvaults or something like that, except for I don't know.
I do.
I was thinking you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But no, but finish your thought first.
Well, my thought was like a somewhat of a like an operation or a blockade or something, or in the area that the players would have to essentially either go around or go through somehow. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no. My thought was yes. There is the path from the north to south. So you do a little bit of classic dungeoneering. You come to a moment where there's a bunch of like I don't want to say an absurd, but like a clearly unwinnable number of people are in a room somewhere with a bunch of very official looking people, and they are now. Which side are they? Are they people from the north who want to get this money to have leverage over Miracore and prevent wealth going to the south, or is it the Stygiad Council? Sorry, vultures from the north, or is it the Stygiad Council who is there to collect this, to grab this money rather than letting it go to the bank, and still also then get something to hold over Miracle, one of the council people? Which is more interesting?
It's interesting, but also the other effect of stealing that money could be seen as sort of putting more coal in the fire of starting up a conflict again.
Yes,
right. Like, I mean, one of these, like if this came to light on either side, it would probably be very unpopular. And then if it came out that one of the sides stole that money, took it away, then that's also not,
which goes back to our sort of spirals within spirals sort of themes.
Spirals within spirals.
So, I mean, it could theoretically lead to the government moving against Benson and Byrde, the biggest financial institution, which could lead, because it has to politically, but that could lead to massive economic disruption in the Great Consociate, which would make the Unfettered League happy. On the other hand, if the youngest and most popular member of the council is shown to have conspired with the enemy, that would also be a massive blow to the Unfettered League.
Maybe keep it. I guess we'll have plenty of consociate enemies once we get to the other side. So perhaps in this early stage, make it a league organization. So do we want to make it look like a league organization is trying to prevent this potential problem from arising, but it is actually Stola Tamdar looking for ammunition to restart the war? Is this too convoluted? Or
I don't know if we're doing too convoluted in Heliakon.
Yeah, we could do that. That could be something. My other idea was that it could actually be the players could encounter an encounter between both groups who have the same idea. Right.
The Stygiad and the vultures are both there.
And the vultures, yeah.
Yes. And they are mid-battle when the players rock up.
Yeah.
And then elements of both sides start coming after them. They have to escape, and in their escape, they inadvertently end up in the Midvaults.
Yep. Yeah. See, this work, and what it could be is that the players could make the decision of which side do they help, right, as well. And then it doesn't matter whichever side that they help, whoever the survivors of that side will try and take the thing from them, right? Like it doesn't matter.
Yep.
So then they will have to escape, or and in that.
Yeah, there's either they just immediately run and both sides are after them, or they try to aid one side and not the other, and then it still end up with whoever's left trying to grab their shit.
And then bam, in the Midvaults.
And kill them because they need them to be silent and so
that's
forth.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So I am thinking that they've got like some sort of shaft or something that they basically sort of, the option is, yes, I know the word shaft.
Shaft. because it's a slang word for penis.
That is also true.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we established that. It's really important.
So they have the option of either basically being just killed by this elite group of spies, or two groups of them, or go down the shaft. I'm not 100% thrilled with this use of the word and the idea that it's just a shaft, but we can come back to that if we've got a better idea.
It's not just a shaft. And then what I like about that is that then we can get into some ghoul encounters. Yeah.
And some, we've already had essentially one running battle, and I'm kind of enjoying the fact that we've attached this giant chest to the players, and they've had to run through the Brightmarket, flee from the spies, and now then potentially have a drag along fight with ghouls. And I'm fine with this. This is sort of part of the fun of what we decided initially.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think as long as the players actually run into that, I'm just calling it a shaft for the moment, unless we come up with a better one. Prior to running into the battling spy agencies, so they sort of know that option is already there, rather than encountering. So they have to go backwards from that encounter.
Yeah. I get it. I get what you mean. Yeah. So yeah, they go through there, and then there's no other way of getting through that. So they have to. Yeah. So they see this, opening that's clearly leading to some less than ideal places. You know what? Maybe they can tell because they've been doing this for a little while now, so they can tell that's leading to the Midvaults. Maybe there's some kind of
pre-concordate architecture.
Yeah, or even if there isn't, maybe there's some mercenary symbols there that show them, like hobo signs.
Yep.
That kind of show that this is a danger. Don't go there. This is terrible.
Perhaps we can make a little call-out note where if somebody's got history, then they can identify it's pre-concordate. If they don't, then someone using survival to read the mercenary hobo scroll signs.
Survival. Yeah. Or Arcana for
if another wizard has left behind a warning. Yeah, do something like that. Always.
I feel like maybe it's just absolutely covered in warnings if you know what to look for.
I always like to find ways for players to feel like their other choices are cool and are saving them in some way. So having little call outs like that, I think, is a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. So first half of the Act 2 is dungeoneering. Climax with this spy fight, escape down to the Midvaults. Now sort of the back half is going to be a tense escape from the Midvaults. All right.
Now, do we want, in the Midvaults, any kind of... obviously they're being... are they being pursued? Are they being pursued, or are they no longer being pursued? They're no longer being pursued, but the danger can't... I don't think that the danger should be just random ghoul encounters. No. I think there's got to be something with personality here to capture player interest of why are we fighting this stupid shit?
Yes. Something that's not interested in the treasure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Something that's not interested in treasure, something that's interested in them, perhaps.
Yeah.
So, I mean, something ghoul related, I suppose, would be good here. But I also feel... I don't know. I also don't want to bring Lyman Jarouche into it, because I feel like that we're putting too many elements from our thing. It's it's the everything taco of adventures. It's hey, remember those guys? We specifically made them for this.
I know.
It could be. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to bring Lyman Jarouche himself in. I don't want him wandering around going, ghouls to the left of me, ghouls to the right. Here I am.
Wow, that would be you could do that. You could do that. You could do the song intro.
I think I've done enough singing.
You've done enough singing? I think I could do more raps.
I enjoyed your rap, as daft as it was.
Thank you. I think we've done a really good job on the intros this season, to be honest. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
We will. We've set the bar, I think. We have to keep raising it.
Too high. We've set it too high. There's nowhere to go from here.
I did Pirates Penzance at the end of the last one. Anyway, I just finished.
That wasn't very good.
No, it was awful. But it was. I cracked myself up and then leave the cracking myself up in the recording.
Yeah, that made it more funny. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I listened to that thing twice. That's so good. But yeah, okay. Well, Well, I mean, we know the ghouls and the different ghouls specifically are not controlled. They're
influenced by this ghoul god.
The ghoul god. Yeah.
What if one of the things that we mentioned whilst talking about the Lime and Drew stuff is that he was experimenting with trying to bring a ghoul back to sapience, like from the madness.
Yes. I remember that.
Now, I think...
Oh, he needs subjects.
Yes. What if he has partially succeeded? That he has brought like a ghoul ogre back to something resembling intelligence, and now that ghoul ogre, because they feed on other ghouls primarily, has like a bully boss kind of leader of the pack thing with a number of other ghouls. And he's sort of become a semi-lieutenant for Lyman. Not that the players will know this, but that it's perhaps it's like seeding future stories, is that there's this ghoul that talks to them out of the darkness and thanks them for feeding it. Maybe it offers, if you leave one behind or let the rest of you escape.
Ooh.
And hell, maybe the players take the deal and someone's rolling a new character.
I tell you what, in some of the groups I've been in, that's definitely...
And some of the groups...
I mean, I'd be pushing for that for sure. Like, if I was at a...
Given some of the characters you've played, I'd be worried that you'd be the one being picked, mate.
Hey, man. Hey, all my characters are lovable.
Some of them
Most
are.
of my characters... Some of my... One of my characters is lovable.
Your gambler in the made-up Fallout game I did all those years ago was pretty charming.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
He was from a compound, an ultra religious compound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember about him.
I remember.
Oh no, and his name was Sigismund.
Sigismund, that was it. Yes,
Sigismund. Yeah,
and the players came across him because he'd cheated at cards and was lashed to a telephone pole.
Yes. Yeah, and then we had to play cards for real, and I don't know how to play cards.
Yes, it's something that I've done now twice and actively want to do a third time with one of the games I'm going, is I introduced tabletop RPG elements to playing a game of Texas Hold'em. It's a heck load of fun.
Yeah, it's like IRL Balatro.
Not entirely untrue. Yes.
Yeah, which is actually pretty cool. I mean, I think that's part of the fun of that particular game is, it takes a game that has some very particular rules and it blows it up.
Yes.
Which is great. Okay, Ghoul Ogre. Ghoul Ogre, did we work out, like, Ghoul Ogres, I forget, how are Ghoul Ogres made?
So the two variant ghouls we've got are the Ghoulongs and the Ghoul Ogres.
The Ghoulongs, yeah.
Ghoulongs are the ones that have been feeding on vermin and it's made them climby and squirrely, but they somehow...
Yeah, I remember that one, yeah.
And Ghoul Ogres become like bigger and brutish because they eat other ghouls.
That's right. Yes. They're the cannibal, the cannibal ghouls, canna-ghouls.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this one, having become intelligent, has, because other ghouls automatically fear Ghoul Ogres, it's now turned that into a sort of leader of the pack. Do as I say, or I'll eat you.
So he's a he or she or they.
I think it at this point, given it's an undead abomination.
Interesting. You know what? This is an interesting conversation to have in another episode of what is the identity of, like, undead creatures, if they have some kind of like willpower and personality.
That's true.
But let's say it. So it is this huge, hideous monster, basically, but it's got a semblance of intelligence where it can actually... Are we thinking it's that sort of classic ogre of, like, ooh, I'm going to eat you type thing? Is it like a slow thinking kind of thing, or are we putting a twist on that and it's actually like some guy?
we sort of decided that the ghouls go mad from their hunger, so that they simply sort of return to a sort of bestial madness. If you bring them back, yeah, I don't think low intelligence from like poor education and vocabulary and so forth, but like it's a cunning, but yes, that it was a person beforehand. So yes, I would avoid the classic ogre, Ugg says give me food or Ugg kill you kind of thing. To a
maybe it's a kind of like it's a monstrous presence where it's like it's talking to you, it's whispering to itself, it's kind of like trying to, it's almost as if it's trying to like interpret various signals, one from the like real world, one from the ghoul deity that's also giving it
it's in its head
instructions.
And it was also probably also a delver at some point. So actually make reference to the fact that
so recognizes its own, perhaps it's also like kind of lost in its mind a little bit, like partly maybe if sometimes thinks it's still on a delve, maybe it's asking the players, it's like, what did you do with blah, where is blah, things like that, getting more agitated.
Yes. So
that could be good.
So it's got a plan, but it's a plan that's influenced both by the fact that there's this ghoul god sort of gnawing above, and these hallucinations with the past sort of coming in on it. I really like that. So you can have a largely role-played encounter, and then I definitely think, regardless of how it turns out, something dangerous needs to come from it. But whether they're simply like, I don't know, because I mean, if the players absolutely knock it out of the park and they manage to,
what about if they come upon this ghoul ogre and it doesn't automatically, and maybe it's surrounded by other ghouls, right? And instead of like getting like the other ghouls like move to try and attack the players, but the ghoul ogre says no, don't do that, and tries to have a parley with them of some kind, right? Like something like that. And then depending on how it goes, like you said, leave one of you behind, blah 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 blah. And if that doesn't work, then they can have an encounter there or something like that.
I think I like the idea that the ghoul ogre and his ghoul gang are stalking them. I think that's scarier. So
but you need some kind of like, you need them to interact first as well, don't you?
Well, if the first intimation,
or maybe not actually, maybe not.
That the players sort of realize that they're being followed by ghouls. They spot a ghoulong sort of slithering on the cavern ceiling. They're being paced, like, oh gosh, we're being hunted, and have a bit of a scene where they're being hunted, and then I don't want to trap them, but it comes to a point where like they stop and turn, or like there's a bit of a slowdown while they wait for somebody to do like bring a bridge down or do some sort of mechanism to cross an area. And during that slowdown moment, this like brutish figure and the shadows, but then it says, Delvers, you are we finding the crystal of blah blah blah?
Yes. Yeah. Did Basil send you?
Yes. Yeah, maybe it's somebody who knows. I like that. And
are you here to rescue me?
Do you know what would really, really help? Your flesh. In fellow feeling for my fellow delvers, I will leave most of you alive, or perhaps just one of you would join my gang in my belly,
My gang in my belly. Get in my belly. Yeah. I think. Look, I think that's. Yeah, I like that, and I like that they're sort of like, because you then start off with these mini ghoul encounters here and there as you go through the thing, and that's your dungeon.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
And then you finally get to a point where you can't go any further without doing something like you said, a chasm. It's a chasm has opened up. You can't go, There's no other place to go, and you have to find a way of getting across it. And yeah. And then you're kind of trapped there.
Part of me is actually thinking puzzle door. And so...
Oh, so good. Yeah. A puzzle door.
There's people that are like, all right, maybe we could just make a deal with this ghoul ogre and we solve the puzzle door. Others are like, no, just keep it talking whilst we solve the door and get the fuck out of here. And then you can have that thing where they make it through the door and they shut it, and then you've got the howling of this, mind-broken thing on the other side, swearing vengeance, and come back to the Midvaults.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No chasm. Puzzle door. I'm thinking like a huge ornate, almost like vault door with, and we work out what the puzzle is, but it's just from a bygone age.
Yes,
and it's clearly like this one has not been. No one's worked this one out before.
It's from the ancient kingdom of puzzle door. No. All right.
Absolutely no. I'm vetoing that. That's stupid. That's stupid, Aaron. That's not. I know you said that, and you were like, "Oh, I'm going to say it in funny," but I'm actually hoping that we're gonna put it in the advent. No, Aaron. No, bad.
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah, actually, yeah, I think that works really well, and yeah, that kind of structures it. Boop, 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 boop. Stop, then do your thing. Okay. And once they work this out, though, what's on the other end of the door?
I think that's kind of the end of Act 2.
That's it,
because that feels like a climactic moment.
Yeah.
It might very well also involve them totally screwing up the conversation and having a desperate fight against a big ghoul ogre and essentially lots of lesser ghouls coming through whilst they open the door to escape. Like it's. We're not going for... One of the things I'm liking about this adventure so far, and I'm kind of appreciating its effect on the mood, I suppose, of Heliakon, is that none of... Barring maybe that very first encounter, none of the encounters are kill all the enemies, you win, yay.
Yeah. Actually, I was having as you were saying that, I was having the same thought as like it's possible to talk your way out of this. Like out of this before the door, like you could succeed in a non-violent way of doing it.
Yeah,
like it's not just like giving up one of your people, but you could keep that thing talking. Maybe you could convince it to do something. Maybe there's something else that you could give it, like or you could trick it.
Yeah, you play into its delusions long enough to keep it talking till you open the door, and then escape. And
make it divide by 0. Head explodes.
Hey, if it worked for Kirk. Well, it's not quite what it worked for Kirk, but anyway. All right, so that's Act 2.
Okay, Act 2. Oh my god.
They come through the door, and because that door's sealed entirely from that side, it's a shortcut to the surface that nobody really bothers to use because you can't go anywhere. But you managed it from the other side. Hurrah, hurrah. You're now in southern...
I heard that.
Oh, bother. You're now in southern... What the...
Hey, so I've got a map of Heliakon that I've almost finished, and it's got all the districts and burgs. So what I think I'll do, I'll probably finish it within the next week or so. So I'm gonna put that into our folder so that we can actually work out like which part of Heliakon are they going to come out on and stuff like that, just so that we get the locations right. I know we didn't delineate like where every single burg or whatever is in relation to every single other one, but I'm hoping that this one will give us a little more of a geography of the city to work with.
I love that. All right, what's our final challenges? Because there's no dungeons in...
Well, you see, you get to the bank, but you haven't made an appointment, and that's very upsetting.
Is it that Asterix and Obelisk adventure where they have to get the right forms filled in?
My younger son has just been like reading Asterix recently, which has delighted me so much because Asterix is something that I enjoyed in Polish when I was in Poland. I remember being so crazy about that and taught me so much about it. history. And I remember for like weeks and weeks they had in Poland. Must have been 6 or 7, I think. And they had a Kinder Surprise, and the Kinder Surprise had Asterix characters in it, and it was so good. And the one I wanted, obviously, was Obelix. Right, This is my favorite. It's my favorite because I think he kind of looked like me. But I was a kid. I was like, yeah, this guy, yeah, this is my body shape. And so I would go, and I would like, whenever I would get any money, instead of going to the arcade for that couple weeks, I would like go and buy a Kinder Surprise egg, and I'd like do a check where I'd like shake it and try to hear like, in my head it was like, if it sounds heavy, it's going to be Obelix, because Obelix is fat.
Yeah.
So I was like, this has made sense. And eventually I got Obelix after like 4 tries. It wasn't too bad. Anyway, so my son's reading it, and he was just reading that particular issue the other day, and I just think that's very funny. I love Asterix.
It is hands down my favorite adventure of Asterix and Obelix, and I refer to it way more than I want to.
Yeah, I don't think we should do that.
No.
I think it's too silly.
Yes, I don't think that really suits the tone of the adventure so far.
But okay, you know what? I know that we're an hour in and we're about to do Act 3, but here's something I want to say. Where the hell do banks get off being open at the most insane fucking times, right? And then you go there, and now banks have this thing where you can't even like get help from going to like a counter unless you have like a specific appointment there. Like a lot of banks do this now, which to me is insane.
Yep.
Or like I was trying to deposit a bunch of money into a bank, like physical money, and they were like, go to the ATM. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. Could you show me how to do this? I don't, like, there's no instructions on the ATM. And they were like, you need an appointment, so just go give it a go. So I'd go in there and I'd try to like deposit the money, and I put the money in, and it just like, it doesn't take some of the money. So it's like, I go back to the person, like, it did take some of the money, and they're like, what can you do? I'm like, I literally don't know. That's why I'm asking you. It's like, I don't know. I don't use cash usually, so why don't you tell me? Bank, money institution, literally the only reason for you to be here is to help me.
Wow.
Oh no, it's not. It's to make billions in profits.
Yeah.
Fuck you, banks.
Yes.
Fuck you.
100%.
And bankers are wankers.
I'm not going to disagree.
Okay, cool. Okay, Act 3.
I think we've definitely we've lost a small percentage of our audience, and I don't really mind too much.
Do you think so?
No. Okay.
How many bankers are listening to this? Actually, if any bankers are listening to this, I take it all back. Could you please support us on our Patreon with 20% of your bank earnings? That would actually make my life so much easier, and Aaron's way easier.
It's true. I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, aside that.
Anyway,
Act 3.
Act 3. Okay, so we're out.
We're out.
Right? Like we're out. We've worked out. We're out here. We're on foreign soil.
Yes. Well, I mean, for all we know, the players could be. I mean,
they could be.
Yeah. They're snakes, so they're technically neutral.
They probably have like a cool badge, a cool snake badge.
We probably should define that at some point.
It's an Ouroboros.
Or Ouroboros what?
Just an Ouroboros.
I mean, like, an or means that there's could be something else. So,
it's just a Boros.
Right. Cool.
It's a Boros eating its own Boros. Aura when she boros on my Ouroboros.
That sounds dreadfully rude, and I rather wish you hadn't said that. Now, we've already got one potential problem in that the spy agencies, the Stygiad and the Vultures could, and probably almost certainly would, still be waiting for the players. Now they've escaped them, they know the players have to get to the bank. So that's one hurdle.
Well, Could this part of the city be on lockdown because of that?
Oh.
Like, could they? And then the thing would be you have to sneak past and avoid encounters with the local town guard and Stygiad council
Okay.
officers.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have a slightly crazy notion.
Okay. Dragons on every corner
No,
in leather jackets.
Man, we haven't come up with the dragon yet. We can go back and put it in somewhere.
Yeah. One of the players is a dragon.
Again, crazy idea. Feel free to kibosh me. So probably the Stygiad, because they're the ones with more control over this area. Oh, no, maybe not. One of the spy agencies, in a bit of a panic, has gone, okay, we really, really, really don't want this money to come to the bank. Even if worst case scenario is it just disappears, that's better, because that still gives us theoretical leverage. We can pretend that we got it.
Yes.
They want to shut down the district that the bank is in, that the players come up in, but there's no real way of doing that easily, especially if you're the vultures. So one of the rot vaults is opened, and a bunch of zombies and skeletons are pouring out into a district. So there's the army is mobilizing to deal with that, but there's stragglers and wanderers, there's panicked civilians, and all through it, all these spies trying to find the players.
Well, what about if you do it like not like a hex scroll necessarily, but like a if you do it like portion by portion by portion, and then you have see if your players can sneak through areas, right? If they sneak through areas, that's fine. Or if they can't sneak through an area, they have to do an encounter, but make it a random encounter, right? Between those different forces, right? Like, so is it a explicitly town guard force? Is it explicitly a spy force? Is it explicitly a undead force? Right?
I think partially because I absolutely loathe random encounters with the power of the fiery sun.
And I love them so much.
I'm not going to leave critical and crucial and exciting parts of my story to a table that somebody wrote 1,000 years ago.
Well, yeah, okay, but here's another. The thing is, like, I think of it in this particular case in terms of simulation, right?
Yes,
the players don't know what's going on necessarily and where anything is, right? Like in this way, it just kind of random. If you were to play this adventure again, it would shake out differently, like potentially much differently in this portion than in previous ones.
Yeah, okay. Not many people I know play the same adventure twice. A GM might run it multiple times, but I mean,
that's true. That's true.
On the other hand, GMs are also playing. All right, let's. Okay, I'm
okay to look not go with the random encounters here. I don't feel super strongly about it. I'm just saying that I think we haven't had random encounters in this one, so perhaps like having a portion of it, I feel like thematically it makes a little bit of sense.
And we do have this chaos going on. All right, I bow to your suggestion there. We just bowed.
We just bowed to each other.
We did.
I don't know why I bowed to you.
This is polite. It's fair enough.
It is. Yeah, it's polite. I agree.
All right.
So you know what I discovered about myself? I was thinking about this the other day, right? Is that I'm not. A lot of people have told me that I'm very nice, and I don't know if that's true because I think I'm more polite than nice. I tend to be quite polite to people, especially strangers, but I don't think I'm a nice person. Anyway, that's a personal flaw that I have to work on. Let's continue.
Okay. I disagree. I think you're nice. I just don't think it's very easy to spot. Okay, so I jest. Now, He's giving me the stare. It's a good stare.
Right into the cameraman.
Yeah. So he has already lost in his eyes. So, all right. What I would say is if we have like, say, 5 challenges. So there's challenge 1 would be something like going from the deep vault entry to across an open street to a row of buildings. Challenge 2 is make their way through or over a row of buildings. Challenge 3 is there's a massive ongoing fight with zombies and other bits and pieces that you've got to find a way around. Challenge.
This is good. This is, I like that.
And yes, if you fail overall, you do group checks. So, you know, whether it's stealth and survival or athletics, etc. If you end up with more fails than successes, then you're rolling on this this random table. I kind of like the idea if we're going to do this random table, there's an option that you roll multiple times. So like, oh no, zombies is one thing. Oh no, the Stygiad. Oh no, the vultures. But you might end up with situations where like, oh no, zombies and the Stygiad, you know.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, that very unlucky.
With some like some weird encounters that are like family escaping a horde of Winnowed. Do you stop to help them?
Absolutely not. That is not mission critical.
Cool, groovy. So that's some ideas. So
we work for the bank,
right? And then in the final challenge would be a cordon of like half battling, half scuffling spy agencies trying to block off the bank. The bank itself having got its own mercenaries out there because the Winnowed are in the area. Plus, there's these weird, like, random people that don't even know are spies doing bits and pieces, and you've got to make your way into the bank. That's the final one. That probably, I might even say, may even have a map, and you've got to like actually have a proper fight and fight your way through and show your credentials to a bank guard so you don't get struck down.
Just like in the real world.
Have you got an appointment?
Have you got an appointment?
Actually,
Beheading.
Actually, yes, we do. Then you got a little denouement of the like moment in the bank, and then yes, you're welcome to wait here until the zombies pass.
This doesn't usually happen. Sorry about this.
Obviously, for such honoured bits and pieces, perhaps even meet with the senior most bird.
Meet with it. And then then you've done it. Easy.
You've done it. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, that's it. That's the 3-act structure of this adventure.
Yeah, potentially. I'd say that's 3 sessions. It's a good.
I'd say that's 3 sessions. Yeah. Because considering how long players take to work things out, and how I've always tend to over prepare, and even like we rarely get through like a quarter of the things that I've ever prepared. So. Unless you have some really smart players, then they just ignore your whole script that you've got in there, and they do something wild and crazy, and nothing ever like you never get to the things that you plan for.
I used to over prep, but I've gotten quite good now. Where I'm not throwing out a lot at the end of the day, which has been good.
Okay. I think something that we should work out now in our chat, and this is to just preempt the keyboard click noises that are going to happen shortly, is I think we should come up with some names for some NPCs.
Oh, yes.
Do you reckon?
Yes. All right.
Because there are, like, we've got ones that we definitely talked about previously, but then, like, we've got the ghoul ogre, right? We've got perhaps we need some of the representatives
of the Stygiad and the Vultures.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to do that in chat, or do we? Shall we make a little Google Doc?
Let's make a little Google Doc.
Here, I'll put it together. Season 1.
Google Doctor.
I'm just going to put it in season 1. We can move it from there.
Yes.
All right. This is going to be.
This took way less time than I thought it would, Aaron.
I'm really, really pleased with having moved through this at a reasonable clip. If we get just these names down, we could be done in an hour and 20, which means we should cut this down to
like an hour,
maybe.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I'd be thrilled with that. All right.
So
we've got Stygiad leader.
Did you put it? Wait, did you put it? Oh, adventure.
Yep.
It's adventure. Got it. I found it. Stygiad leader.
Can't spell.
Vutslua. The Vutslua leader.
Oh, shush up, yo.
That's okay. Hey, man, spelling is hard. And do you know how you know how that thing that you know about me is that I never make spelling mistakes?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's a fact I know about that, right? Yes.
Yeah. For in the past 3 years, I've started making spelling mistakes. Do you know why?
Because you're admitting to them?
No. No. Genuinely, I didn't. It's got something to do with the way I learned how to write English, which was the worst possible way, right? This was when I was learning English. It was we didn't have phonics or anything like that, right?
Right.
So essentially, I had to learn each word individually, and I would always spell it out in Polish, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, leader, I would go L-E-A-D-E-R, and then I'd have that, and I'd read it 1,000 times, and I'd write it 100 times, and right, and that got into this habit. But since I started learning Mandarin more intensely, I found that there's now gaps that are being filled with obviously Mandarin knowledge that are not being that do no longer contain spelling knowledge. So I'll be writing something, and I'm like, I don't ever remember misspelling that, but there you go.
It's funny for our listeners. Chris, despite English not being his first language, has significantly better English skills than I do, and now he's learning a third language. Me, as a filthy monoglot, I struggle still with the words like embarrassment for some reason. I'm embarrassed that I struggle with the word embarrassment.
You should be a little embarrassed about that one, because that's quite an easy one.
It's got too many not doubles, and I can never remember where all the doubles go.
I mean, that's true. But English spelling sucks. Guys, you should learn Polish, a language that just makes sense. If you know how to say and write every letter of the alphabet, and you know the sounds, which the sounds are not really that crazy in Polish, right? Once you know them, you just know how to spell every word. There's 3 exceptions to spelling.
You
rules.
say that, but after extensive practice with your Polish name, you have utterly banned me from even attempting it, because I cannot get
it.
The
wasn't
sounds
extensive practice. You just said it a bunch of times incorrectly. That's not extensive practice.
It sounded to my ears like I was replicating what you were saying.
Ty skurwielu, nazywam się Krzysztof. Okay? Krzysztof. I ty...
Yeah, and that's what I'm hearing when I'm saying it. And
no, you're saying Kazistov.
There's a reason I struggle with other languages.
Yeah.
All right,
it's the early onset dementia.
Very early. It started sometime in high school, I think. All right.
I feel like this has been this rant. I might clip this one out. I don't know. We'll see.
Leave it out of the episode, but put it up on YouTube.
Put it up on YouTube. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do the ghoul ogre's name.
Cool. Love it. What have we got?
Golgrond.
It's a good ogre name. Is it a good delver name though?
Oh, hold on.
Olgrand.
Fixed it. Olgrand.
Olgrand. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
See, it's the difference one letter makes. Olgrond.
Yeah. Dude, what if as a delver he had like a title that he was like Olgrond the Brave, but not the Brave. You know what I mean?
Not the Brave.
Just throwing it out there. I'm not married to this notion.
Yeah. Olgrond. Whoa, but what if it was like what if this was something that is quite
ironic?
Is quite. Yeah, no, I don't know. Like quite different to what he's like as an ogre.
That's what I mean. Like by ironic.
Yeah. You said ironic. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What's un-ogre like? I guess being fast.
Olgrond the Arcane, or
Olgrond Farseer or something. Olgrond. Yeah, I don't like the Arcane. I feel like that's too.
Yeah. No,
something. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Sharp Eye,
Wraith Seeker.
Oh, it's a little undeady. That's all. And I mean, it's
yeah. Well, you found it. You found the wraith.
Quartz Clever.
What is it?
Quartz Clever.
Quartz Clever.
Yeah. It doesn't sound good to your ear.
No. I like Quartz something.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. Olgrond Quartz
Seeker.
Yeah, Quartz Seeker.
All right.
Quartz Seeker. Do we want it like is this like a nickname?
Yeah, I think so.
Quartz Seeker.
Like he was like
Olgrond Quartz Seeker Johnson.
Shaft.
No.
Is
Olgrond Quartz Seeker Shaft Johnson. Yeah. No, that's good.
Speaking of people.
Yeah, Olgrond Quartz Seeker.
All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Vulture Leader, Stygiad Leader.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. These are our sort of the people that you'd meet in Act 2 and then again in Act 3.
Mm-hmm.
So defining
for equality, one of them has to be a woman.
I think so.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can we make it the Stygiad Leader?
Yep. All right.
Can be the lady.
What species and gist? Because I know we're coming up with a name, but we should also give it a little quick description. I think because Ghoul Ogre, we already have a bit of description for him.
Yeah. I think it should be a Dragonborn.
Yep, I like it.
I think it should be a Dragonborn lady.
Yes.
And well, let's say a Dragonborn female presenting person.
Good plan.
I think, like in fantasy, a lot of that is like we're looking at cardboard cutouts of here, and then I think during the game you can fill in any details. I think.
Agreed. But we can help the GM along by giving them an evocative name and a simple description. Sistra.
Oh, Sistra. I like that.
My mind. I'm thinking of whenever I think of like strong female leads and things like that, I love going back to Lysistrata. So like Sistra.
I like Sistra. Can we make it Sistra with an Y? With a Y?
Yep, absolutely.
Sistra.
Yeah,
Sistra.
It's kind of like a sneaky spy, vaguely sinisterish sort of name as well. So yeah. I don't think it needs anything more than that. A spy is not really liking to go, "Hi, I'm Sistra Johnson of
Sistra Johnson, Sistra Quartz Seeker Johnson, Shaft."
Like they're not going to say I'm from this town and here's my address. So, but
yeah, okay. How about Vulture Leader?
If Sistra is Dragonborn, and in my head the Dragonborn are sort of tall and impressive looking. I'm thinking somebody who's like small and wizened. So like halfling or gnome.
Like a halfling. There's not that many gnomes, I think.
No.
Gnome. Yeah.
Yeah, halfling.
Yeah, halfling.
Halfling?
Halfling. I'd say a halfling. Yeah.
Cool.
I do like Sistra. That's so cool. That's such a good name.
Thank you.
Vulture leader. Barack Obama.
I know what your next suggestion is, and no, he's not going to be called Bill Cosby either.
God damn it. Now, I want to make it clear that was not my next suggestion because they are both brown American men. Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't think of that. I just because you always go to Bill Cosby.
That's the reason. That's the reason is because I always go to Bill Cosby. And my suggestion for Barack Obama was that I just looked at my wife's bookshelf, which has a Barack Obama, A Promised Land book on it.
Yes.
Yeah, which I don't think she ever read, and I don't think I ever read. But now I might read because I'm looking at it. It's like, what has he got to say about the various war crimes his nation engaged in?
Probably
cool,
not a lot, honestly.
You put in the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Aldecott. Yeah, Aldecott.
Aldecott?
Aldecott?
I wrote it out because I wanted to see what it looked like.
What about Aldecott?
Aldecott. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That feels like a slightly like older, like more.
And also, it also sounds like cord a little bit, which is a halfling thing.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, Aldecott, halfling.
Oh, you're already doing it.
Oh,
cool. Love it.
Yeah. Okay. Do we need any other names?
I mean, like there will be a few NPCs that you run into in Act 3, but they're fairly incidental. And when GMs just come up with the names on the fly or have a list of names ready, you probably already ought to have that.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? What are you doing, GMs?
I do.
Yeah.
We've got the named characters, the Basil Sawtooth, and the leader of the Byrde family, whose first name escapes me. Yeah.
Yeah, and even though I wrote the name of these guys, I also don't recall, but I will now look it up.
Yeah, I'm in there.
The birds. There
we are.
They are. Oh yeah, that's right. The family heads alternate between gnomes and dragonborn. The current head of the family is Pekoslav Byrde.
Beautiful.
An old dragonborn. Yes. Pekoslav Byrde. Pekoslav Byrde.
Yep.
Pekoslav. Yeah. That's great. Oh yeah, and he's been pushing for the expansion into unfettered League territories.
Yeah. Which is why
he's
brilliant. Behind this. Yes. That's it.
Oh my god, we did it.
Yeah, dude,
we did it.
We did. I was worried about this. This was really out of left field for us, and I was worried that we're going to be here for another hour and a half longer than we are currently.
I was thinking this will take 3 to 4 hours.
I thought 2 to 3 hours for sure. I am genuinely shocked at the brisk pace that we put together.
Oh, it's brilliant! It's brilliant, and I think it works. And I can see the shape of the adventure. Now we just have to basically fill it. We have to fill it in.
Yeah, and even then, it's mostly just a little bit of number crunching with numbers of and which stat blocks to use, which is not going to be too hard. In that first encounter, it's the like bandit stat block, and you reuse that through that sort of chase. I
think so.
The Stygiad guys, I think in the new 5th Ed the pirate block weirdly has a sort of like charisma thing where they sort of charm you so you can't attack them for a round, and that feels very spy-ish. Maybe one like the Stygiad does that, and the vultures have a
one that allows them to disengage and run around or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
just
something like that.
to give them a different flavor. The ghouls, I've already defined the ghoulongs and the ghoulogas, so just like pop those back in. Although I'd probably give, what do we call them? Olgrond, a bit of a buff, and just hit point wise and so forth. Just because
I think so.
I think he plays really well as a potential recurring villain, even if it's just like a second time.
Definitely. Maybe a tragic character there as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
And then up in the third act, you reuse the Vulture and Stygiad. The zombies, our Winnowed zombies, are the same as MM zombies.
Yeah.
So there's been a number of picking numbers basically.
I think that's great. I think. I think that's fantastic.
Yes.
I think we've done a really good job.
Yes.
Well, that's it then.
Yeah, we're done. All right.
Okay.
What do you guys think about our first adventure?
I would love to know. In fact, I would love for anyone to review this show, because I can see numbers going up on the clicks of people who listen to this, and it fluctuates up and down. I feel like I would love to know what we're doing well, what we're not doing well. I've had some feedback on editing, for example. So I've sort of the way I do editing has changed a little bit, which has made it a little bit easier on me as well, which is pretty good. I've also had some feedback on, we had some feedback from Leo, which was very nice. And a couple people that I engage with on Blue Sky have given us some feedback that, they really enjoy the structure of what we do and the content and stuff like that. So that's really good. But I would love to have reviews of this. And it doesn't matter. Look, guys, we would love 5-star positive reviews. That'd be fantastic. But you know what? If they are shit reviews, that's also fine. Because I personally just want to know what people like, what people don't like. Don't be petty, but do be constructive, because we really like that.
Yeah. Also, I'm curious as what you guys think about putting together an adventure. We have I've got my own style of how I approach it, and Chris's I think is similar, but everybody's got a different way. Did our way of going from concepts and talking about act structures and so forth, did that help you? Was that a tool, a structure, that's a paradigm that you might want to use? Do you want to?
And as you can see, this took us just over an hour. And it has to be written up and stuff like that and polished up a bit. But other than that, it's as easy as that. It doesn't have to be a monumental task that takes you days and days and days.
You could theoretically just take this, set some DCs for stealth, athletics, etc., and just run this without maps, without images, and just run this in theatre of the mind. So, yeah.
Theatre of the mind. Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right.
I hope. Well, thank you all for joining us for a whole entire season of Mythtakes Were Made.
There will be another season coming up next year.
Yes.
Which will be as good, if not better. I hope better.
I hope better too. I'd like to continue to get better rather than just.
I'd like to continue to get better as well. Yeah. So we'll have a whole new setting, a whole new, probably same format. I think.
Yeah.
I think there are probably some things that we can work on how we present them and stuff like that. But I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah. We're hoping to come up with some more personalized bits and pieces. Spoken to a friend about potentially getting some theme music just for us.
That would be really good. Yeah, I would love some personalized theme music.
So, but yeah, we just really want to say thank you for sticking with us and keep sticking with us. We've got, besides season 2, we've got another little project, a little something.
We do
epistological.
Epistological.
Writing through letters, I
think is epistological.
Epistological. Yes, you're correct. I don't know why I was doubting that.
There's your word for the day, folks. Epistological.
And with that, we will say goodbye.
Shaft. Bye.
Shaft, bye.